There exists a kind of person whose presence alone consumes your energy long before they ever speak. They appear in your life with open hands, but never with open effort. These individuals are not always malicious. Often, they are simply empty vessels that demand to be filled. Their need becomes your burden, and their weakness becomes your responsibility. You feel it slowly at first. The minor requests, the subtle expectations, the quiet dependence that grows like a shadow behind you. Yet over time, you begin to realize that their survival depends entirely on the strength you pour into them. Strength that was meant for your own ambitions, not for the maintenance of their inertia. Helping someone who is momentarily weak is noble, but helping someone who has built a life upon being carried is a mistake that drains your potential. These people do not rise because you lift them. They simply learn that you will always be there to prevent their fall. They become experts in presenting helplessness. Their problems never resolve because unresolved problems guarantee continued attention. Where effort should exist, excuses take its place. Where initiative should appear, they offer dependency. And the more you give, the more they require. Over time, their reliance becomes a quiet form of control. They shape your schedule, consume your focus, and pull your mind away from your own path. Their failures become your emergency, their discomfort your mission, their stagnation your responsibility. Your victories become fuel for their demands, for they believe that your success is simply another resource that should support them. And when you turn your attention back to your goals, they remind you of how much they need you, turning their need into a weapon to keep you nearby. These individuals drain strength not only through what they take, but through what they never give. They offer no true conversation, no insight, no encouragement, no growth. They do not challenge you to become better, nor do they evolve from the help you provide. They are stagnant pools, reflecting only their lack of progress. In the presence of such people, your ambition becomes diluted. You learn to shrink yourself so they can feel comfortable. You begin limiting your own rise because you fear how it might affect them. Their dependence becomes a chain, and you, unknowingly, become both the prisoner and the guard. There is a deeper danger hidden within these energy-draining individuals. They may seem grateful in the beginning, praising your generosity and admiring your strength. But gratitude fades quickly when entitlement takes root. Once they believe your help is guaranteed, they no longer value it. They begin to expect it. And when expectations replace appreciation, your role shifts from supporter to servant. They begin to resent the moments when you cannot provide for them. They interpret your boundaries as betrayal and your self-focus as selfishness. Their dependence slowly transforms into quiet hostility because your existence reminds them of everything they refuse to become. Helping someone who refuses to help themselves is not compassion. It is surrender. Every ounce of energy you invest in them is energy stolen from the life you are meant to build. Every hour spent managing their chaos is an hour removed from your pursuits. Every time you carry their weight, you lose the momentum meant for your ascent. These individuals drain strength because they have learned to survive by attaching themselves to those who possess ambition. They live off the generosity, discipline, and drive of others, refusing to cultivate their own. The more capable you are, the more they cling. Your strength is a finite resource. It is meant to be directed toward your goals, your discipline, your evolution. When you allow those who drain your strength to remain close, you sabotage your own progress. Their needs outweigh your plans. Their emotions dictate your decisions. Their comfort becomes more important than your growth. They shape your priorities until you no longer recognize your own aspirations. And by the time you realize how much they have consumed, you have already spent pieces of yourself that cannot be reclaimed. You are not obligated to sacrifice your potential for someone who refuses to rise on their own. Some people do not need your help. They need to face the weight of their own choices. Only then will they learn to stand. Among the most dangerous individuals you can ever assist are those who quietly resent the very help you offer. Their hearts are shaped not by gratitude, but by bruised pride, and every act of support you extend becomes a subtle reminder of their inadequacy. These are the people who interpret your generosity as a silent insult, who twist your intentions into hidden attacks, who see in your strength the reflection of their own weakness. When you lift them, they do not feel relieved, they feel exposed. And exposure breeds hostility. At first, they may accept your help with forced politeness, masking their discomfort behind the appearance of humility. But beneath that surface lies a simmering tension. Instead of seeing you as an ally, they see you as a witness to their struggles. Instead of appreciating the hand that steadies them, they fixate on the fact that they needed that hand at all. They do not measure your intentions. They measure their own wounded pride. The more you help them, the deeper the wound becomes. People who resent your help often operate through quiet, subtle behaviors. They begin to distance themselves, offering cold responses where warmth once existed. They avoid eye contact, not because they dislike you, but because looking at you reminds them of a moment when they were not self-sufficient. They replay that memory again and again until your assistance becomes a symbol of their inferiority. You intended to lift them, but in their eyes, you have positioned yourself above them. And since they cannot rise to match you, they seek instead to bring you down. There is a certain irony in their resentment. The more you invest in them, the more hostile they become. They may begin to question your motives, accusing you of helping them only to gain power or recognition. They may suggest that your kindness was a disguise for manipulation. Their insecurity rewrites the story, transforming your support into a scheme, your goodwill into a strategy, your generosity into control. They rewrite the narrative to protect their pride, even at the cost of destroying the relationship. In some cases, they will attempt to undermine you directly. They may speak ill of you to others, framing your help as meddling or overstepping. They may highlight your flaws, real or imagined, to balance the scales in their mind. If you shine too brightly, they will dim the perception of your light. Their resentment demands equilibrium, and if they cannot elevate themselves, they will attempt to pull you down so that both of you stand at the same level. They believe this restores dignity, unaware that it only exposes their own insecurity more clearly. These individuals also struggle deeply with gratitude. Gratitude requires humility, and humility threatens their sense of identity. To thank you sincerely would be to acknowledge that they were in need, that they lacked something, that they were vulnerable. Instead of expressing appreciation, they offer indifference or irritation. They downplay your efforts, insisting they could have managed without you. They rewrite the importance of your role so they do not have to feel indebted. Every thank you becomes an internal battle, so they avoid giving one at all. When you help people who resent your support, you place yourself in a precarious position. You become a symbol of everything they are afraid to confront within themselves. Your presence reminds them of their limitations, their failures, their dependencies. They may smile in your face, but internally they collect secret grievances. They blame you for moments where they fell short, even though you helped prevent them from falling further. They confuse their shame with your actions, and instead of growing from the experience, they direct their frustration outward. Over time, their resentment shapes their behavior into patterns that drain your spirit. They reject the lessons that your help was meant to teach. They dismiss the wisdom behind your guidance. They sabotage the opportunities you created for them. And when those opportunities collapse, they find a way to hold you responsible. They turn your generosity into a weapon that strikes you instead of serving them. Helping such people becomes an exercise in frustration because you are not fighting their challenges. You are fighting the narrative they've created around you. The danger lies not just in their ingratitude, but in their potential for betrayal. Those who resent the hand that lifts them are often the first to strike when circumstances shift. They may wait for the moment when you need support, not to repay kindness, but to prove a point. They may withdraw assistance, deny encouragement, or disappear entirely, believing they have regained their sense of power. They may even attempt to rise above you, not through their own growth, but through the hope that your decline will make them feel whole again. To help someone who secretly resents you is to place your efforts into soil that rejects nourishment. No matter how much you give, nothing meaningful will grow. You cannot build trust with someone who interprets your strength as a threat. You cannot build loyalty with someone who views your support as an insult. And you cannot elevate someone who believes your hand is pushing them down, even as it lifts them up. Among the most costly people you can ever attempt to help are those who refuse to take responsibility for their own lives. These individuals live in a world shaped by excuses, a world where blame is currency and accountability is a burden they will never carry. They drift through life convinced that every failure belongs to someone else, that every disappointment is the fault of circumstances, and that every setback is an injustice done to them rather than a consequence of their own choices. When you step in to assist them, you do not empower them. You simply become the next person they will rely on, the next shield between them and the truth they refuse to face. Responsibility is the foundation of growth. Without it, no lesson takes root, no progress endures, and no character is forged. Those who avoid responsibility resist this foundation. They want the benefits of success without the discipline required to earn it. They want the appearance of effort without the discomfort of effort itself. When you help someone like this, you do not lift them. You temporarily stabilize them, only for them to collapse again as soon as your support is removed. Their lives resemble structures built on sand. Every improvement you create falls apart the moment pressure returns. These individuals possess a unique talent for shifting blame. If they miss an opportunity, the opportunity was flawed. If they break a promise, the promise was unrealistic. If they fail in a task, the task was unfair. They construct a world where they are eternally the victim, even when their own habits led them to the result they claim to despise. When you offer your help, they welcome the relief but reject the responsibility that must accompany it. They use your effort as a bandage, covering the wound rather than healing it. And when the bandage inevitably falls away, they do not see the wound as theirs. They see it as your fault for not patching it better. Helping these individuals drains your time, your focus, and your emotional strength. You become the person who must constantly clean the aftermath of their decisions. You remind them of deadlines, yet they ignore them. You warn them of consequences, yet they disregard them. You give them opportunities, yet they squander them. Their pattern does not change because they have never accepted that they are the common thread in every problem they face. Instead of learning from mistakes, they run from them. Instead of growing, they hide behind those willing to carry their weight. Another danger lies in their perception of your help. They do not view it as a gift, but as validation that their behavior requires no correction. When you step in, they interpret your effort as proof that their lack of responsibility is justified. Your strength becomes their excuse. Your reliability becomes their safety net. And the more you shield them from consequences, the stronger their belief becomes that they can live without accountability. They begin to assume you will always intervene. Your reliability becomes their habit. In time, they may even demand the help they once requested. What began as a favor becomes an obligation in their mind. They grow irritated when you stop assisting them or when you introduce boundaries. They accuse you of neglect, betrayal, or selfishness. They insist that if they stumble, it is because you were not attentive enough. Their dependence transforms into entitlement, and entitlement quickly turns into resentment the moment you refuse to carry their burden any longer. The very person whose failures stem from their own avoidance of responsibility will claim you are the reason they cannot stand. When you help someone who refuses responsibility, you unintentionally become part of their cycle. You become the rescuer who prevents them from confronting their reality. You step between them and the consequences that were meant to teach them. Growth requires discomfort, yet you absorb that discomfort on their behalf. Every time you solve a problem for them, you deprive them of the chance to develop resilience. Every time you guard them from the fallout of their choices, you protect them from the lessons those choices were meant to deliver. You cannot build strength for another person, and when you attempt to do so, you weaken both them and yourself. Their refusal to take responsibility also creates instability in your life. They disrupt your plans with their crises that are not accidents but predictable results of their neglect. They interrupt your progress with emergencies that could have been avoided. They expect you to rearrange your priorities to accommodate the chaos they manufacture. And as time goes on, their problems grow in scale, because problems ignored often do. You become so entangled in their struggles that your own ambitions begin to fade into the background. What makes these individuals especially dangerous is that they rarely change without being forced to confront the consequences of their actions. They do not improve because someone guided them gently. They improve only when they stand alone long enough to see the pattern of their own behavior. Without accountability, they cannot rebuild. Without hardship, they cannot rise. Without responsibility, they cannot become more than what they are. If you continue to help them, you remove the very force that could transform them. In life, the weight you choose to carry determines how far you can go. Not every outstretched hand deserves to be taken, and not every plea for support deserves your strength. Some people drain your energy without ever rising. Some resent you for the very help they begged for. Some refuse responsibility and collapse the moment your support is removed. Others distort your kindness into leverage, manipulate your generosity, or sabotage every opportunity they're given. And there are those who live in perpetual self-destruction, pulling down anyone who stands too close. Your time, your focus, and your discipline are the tools that shape your ascent. They are not gifts meant to be scattered among those who refuse to stand on their own. Helping the wrong people does not make you noble. It makes you vulnerable. Your strength must be reserved for those who value it, who grow from it, and who do not seek to drain or diminish it. The path forward demands clarity, and clarity begins with knowing whom to walk beside and whom to leave behind.